Hey everybody, this is Dan with Pain Free You. So, first of all, thank you all for the suggestions on my brainstorming post. Lots of interesting ideas. What I'm really looking for is to name the process. In other words, the such and such process, method, system, framework. To name the process of what we do to get well. There are some wonderful ideas that may be very useful for book titles or even descriptions or subtitles for the book or descriptions of what it is that we do here at Pain Free You to help people get pain free. But for this brainstorming process, I'm really looking to brainstorm titles for what I call this recovery process. So I'll probably post brainstorming part 2, share some of the ideas that I think were pretty good, and maybe ask you to think about it from a different frame of mind. So today's topic is going to be, what if I can't get well? I'll cover that in a minute. So I hope everybody's doing good. Well, proper English. Breathe in the calm and exhale the chaos. So this title, it's kind of like, but Dan, what if I can't get well? What if I can't do this? What if this doesn't work for me? Does anybody feel like that? Comment below, let me know. So what if I can't get well? My answer to that is always going to be, what's the downside to trying and putting these proven principles into play? Right? What if this process actually works and would work for you if you weren't allowing your doubt and your fear get in the way of actually implementing the things which I suggest? So, as we know, if you've been listening to me for any length of time, I've been using the term perceived danger pain, perceived danger symptoms. So if the brain is perceiving danger, but it's not a real threat, because the body has normal abnormalities that are being blamed for the pain or the symptoms, the solution, in my opinion, is safety, right? Perceived danger, problem, safety, solution. I completely am convinced that's how the system works. The brain, the nervous system, the pain system. It's how it functions. The pain is a warning, but it's a false alarm, right? So when you say to yourself, I don't think I can do this. I can't do this because I'm too nervous, I'm too anxious, the pain's too severe, I can't stop thinking about it, etc., 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 etc. And all of these beliefs or doubts or reasons why you don't think this is going to work for you. Dan, I just can't imagine myself without these symptoms. They've been around so long. What if this stuff would actually work if you'd stop convincing yourself that it's not going to? And I'm not putting the blame on anybody for not being well yet. But if you're still falling into the trap of, I've known about this stuff for months or years and I haven't gotten anywhere, evaluate your thinking process around it. Are there a lot of I can't because statements going through your mind? Or this won't work for me because statements? And also there's the doubt about whether or not what you're dealing with is created by the brain perceiving danger. That's fundamental number one. Well, number two, actually. Number one is understanding the system, how pain and symptoms are created. That's fundamental number one in getting better. If you don't understand that the brain's creating symptoms, The second fundamental is, does this apply to me? You got to get there, folks. And once you take the assessment, I have people say, I score high on the pain test, or I took the FIT assessment and I checked off a number of yeses, but I still don't know that this is TMS. Well, what those assessments do is they determine that your symptoms are behaving in such a way that a structural problem, a physical problem, could not create. Only the brain could. So for anybody who says, well, it said I was TMS, but I don't know. It's kind of borderline. It's 32, it's 29, whatever. And I will tell you, even people who score exceptionally low on the pain test could be that they're so frightened, so terrified of their symptoms, and they don't believe it's going to work, that their symptoms are so consistent that it almost forces a false negative on the pain test, because symptoms are so consistent because the fear and the perception of danger is so high and so consistent, and the doubt is so high. So even a lower score on the pain test could say, you're terrified. You're not broken, you're just terrified, and as a result, your symptoms are consistently high. And consistent, meaning they don't turn on, off, move, left, right, up, down. So, what if this won't work, Dan? What if it would? But you're listening to the voice that says it can't and it won't. There's really no downside, only positive benefit by reassuring yourself that you're okay and you're going to be okay. And that this process is the way forward for you, and that this process will work for you when you teach, not heal, teach your scared brain operating on misinformation and bad data that you're actually not broken. So please, I'm going to encourage the folks who are doubting and fearing that this won't work to ask yourself the question, what if it would work? If I stopped listening to the voices of doubt and fear and worry and I can't do this type of statements? Because I do believe that you and everybody else can get well. These processes are proven to work. This stuff works, folks. It can work for you. But please, you're not doing yourself any favor by telling yourself that it won't. I'm too different. My symptoms feel so real. Yes, they all do. You know why? Because the symptoms and the sensations and the pain, they are real sensations and symptoms. But they're not created by your body being in some state of failure or damage or injury. I hope that makes sense. The brain, in my opinion, creates all these symptoms. And it doesn't have to be just pain or something else. It can be all sorts of stuff like dizziness, vertigo, tinnitus, throat pain, burning mouth. Doesn't matter where the symptoms are located. They all have the same cause, a brain that's perceiving danger. And it's a misperception. It's essentially a mistake. I believe that the vast majority of chronic pain is a mistake created by a brain perceiving danger where it does not really exist, but it's just sounding the warning alarm due to conscious fear, subconscious fear, meaning perceived danger, and the attention that we can give these symptoms. So I'll have some people say, but Dan, I'm not scared of the pain. I'm just pissed off. Okay, I get it, which is a step in the right direction, but is being pissed off that you have symptoms and pains a message of safety or danger? Inevitably, danger, right? So yes, Fear definitely conveys danger, but so does frustration, despair, a belief that it's not going to work, a belief that life stressors, family, other things in your life, work, money, you name it, that those are the cause. And as long as those stressors are going on, I'm not going to get better. That's conveying a lot of danger. And you know what convinces the brain that you're in danger? I can't do this because X, Y, and Z. So, what if this stuff would work? But you're so busy listening to the negative voices that say it won't, that you don't do what's necessary to teach this misinformed and scared brain that you're actually okay. You have zero, nothing, nada to lose by implementing this stuff. And you know what I will tell you? Even if, and I'm saying even if it takes a little while for it to work, the mindset shift alone that says, you know what? I do have symptoms, but I'm not going to let them rule my life anymore. I see plenty of people that the beginning of their journey is that they still have symptoms, but their mindset has so improved, they're starting to live their life again. They're starting to find joy. They're starting to find connection with their families and friends and neighbors, and they're starting to do more things. Their life is expanding instead of staying small. Just the mindset shift alone is worth the price of admission. The price of admission, I'm not talking dollars. I'm talking belief. I'm talking decision that I can do this. Right? The mindset shift alone, what's cool is not only does that make your life better, you'll feel more optimistic. You'll say, yeah, I had symptoms, but I didn't care because I got to go visit family. I got to go do this. I got to drive my car. I got to do something that I haven't done in a really, really, really long time. And that felt great, even though I hurt. Because you know what? I would have hurt sitting at home. Think about that. So the mindset shift alone is worth going through this process and starting to teach your brain that you're okay. But you know what else is cool? The mindset needs to shift first. So when you make the decision to focus on mindset, symptoms will eventually come along for the ride. Shift the mindset. Make that decision that you can do this, that this will work for you. And your life will start getting better because your brain will start to believe that you're actually okay. Because, hey, look, he, she, they are actually not so freaked out anymore. They're starting to do things. They're starting to expand their life. Starting to get more capable. The possibilities grow. And I will say this. It's not just possible to get better. When you implement these proven steps of teaching your misinformed and scared brain that you're actually okay, you do it consistently, you get that right mindset. It's not just possible to get well. It's probable. So I'm going to wrap this one up here. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. I love each and every one of you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.